a conversation with Sean Hannity. Donald Trump decided to touch on something that he's been obsessed with for quite some time, windmills. Again, let's watch.
Today, I saw a big story that there very millions and millions of dollars are being charged on windmills because they're killing eagles. They're killing the bald eagle and other eagles and other birds. And we have these windmills all over the place, and the environmentalists pretend they love them, but they're really hurting our country. They're driving down values. They're just absolutely killing. It's one of the most expensive forms of energy. The turbines are all made in China or Germany, so they get the advantage of that. It's just ridiculous.
You know, we could actually manufacture them in the United States and create jobs, but Republicans, including Donald Trump, have fought against that. And look, Rashad, I mean, we've covered this before, and so it's just like repetitive. Like the idea that Trump, he doesn't care about human lives. You think he cares about birds? He doesn't care about birds. And like, I like that he switched it up a little bit. He's like, what could like spark, like exploit that American patriotism to like make my argument a little better? I'll mention the bald eagles. It's bald eagles. At first it was just birds. Now it's bald eagles specifically.
Yeah. So let me tell you what has happened. All right. Over years, our culture in America, we have been over commercialized, marketed to, right? What happened at some point, Anna, many Americans stopped being citizens and started to be consumers. We stopped thinking as true patriots, not the brand that they try to sell. And now we think as purchasers, right? So here comes Donald Trump, a hyper branded, over commercialized, marketed person. And because we have become consumers, many people consume the package of Donald Trump. Donald Trump realizes that nobody respects him because he can solve problems. Nobody supports him because he's some intellectual genius. Nobody supports him because he's a good public servant. All of his support came because he is exactly who he is, an over-marketed, branded buffoon. And as long as he continues to be that person, he will remain relevant. Now remember, the times when Trump talked like he had some sense, right? Remember when he was on Candace Owens' show and he actually said something that was true, and Candace Owens didn't know what the hell to do, and his audience, and then when he was on the Has Been tour with Bill O'Reilly, and he talked about taking the shot and they started booing him. Why is that a reality? Why does that happen to Trump? Because Trump is a brand. And when Trump does something off brand, they no longer like Trump. So that's the issue. They are buying a brand in Donald Trump because we have, through years of commercialization, tried to dumb down the American population to become consumers, which means you're not thinking. And those are the people primarily who support Donald Trump.
I do find it hilarious that his brand is stupidity, and if he goes off that brand for even a second, that Candace Owens example is just perfect. You're absolutely right about that. And what would his solution be for our, energy issues? Well, unsurprisingly, he wants to go to something that's quickly becoming antiquated in this country. Let's watch.
If you don't go to fossil, and we're talking about, in many cases, they today have clean coal. They today have natural gas, which is very clean. We include nuclear. We include many other things in there. But if you don't go to the kind of things that you've been living with for a period of time, they don't have the power to fuel our great factories and to build our great businesses.
Trump famously thought that clean coal was when they take the coal out and they clean it. So not exactly a genius on this. And again, this has been an ongoing issue for Trump, not because he cares about coal, not because he cares about birds dying, but because it's personal, okay? The windmills ruined the view at one of his resorts. And so I'll remind you about what that was about. In 2006, he purchased 1,800 acres of property to develop as a luxury golf resort in Scotland, the Old Sod, his mother's birthplace. Trump fought and unsuccessfully sued to prevent a wind farm from being built off the coast, claiming it would destroy the view of perhaps the greatest golf course anywhere in the world and potentially lower revenue. The 11 turbine facility was completed in 2018. He is so bitter about it. It's always about Trump. It always comes back to what he wants, what benefits him, what his desires are. The idea that he would care about any bird or even the bald eagle is ridiculous. He's not informed on energy. He's not informed on pretty much anything other than self-marketing. And so his obsession continues. And I've noticed Trump is the kind of guy who can't let certain things go. So even though he's talked about windmills a billion times already, he'll continue to do it. Even though the fact that the election was not stolen from him in 2020, it has been adjudicated like a million times. He'll keep claiming that it has been stolen because it's all about his desires. It's all about what feeds his ego and his narcissism. And it's just hilarious that one of his biggest enemies, windmills, wind.